Next scenario is a conflict of interest scenario. A nurse working in a pharmaceutical company is asked to participate in a research study evaluating a medication produced by the company. The nurse is aware that the medication has potential serious side effects that are not adequately disclosed to study participants. How can the nurse navigate the conflict between professional obligations and company interest? Professional obligation versus company interest. If you say it like that, professional liability, my professional environment, my professional stance, me being a nurse, I personally have to disclose the consequences. I'm not particularly a big fan of Big Pharma, but I do understand how much benefit Big Pharma has given to us over the last years. Ever since its creation, it has increased the life expectancy of people. It has helped millions, if not billions of people in this world. Big Pharma, I give it credit for what credit's due, but there's also a side of Big Pharma where it's profits over people. And if I am going to have to decide over my professional obligation versus the company interests, I'm going to go with my professional obligation, because the business is always going to have its business in mind. Think of business as a person. That person is always going to have its back. It's never going to think about you, because if you are not able to bring this business money, it's not going to care. When it is ever a situation of moral principle, professional obligation, and ethical obligation versus your boss, versus your manager, versus the people around you, versus companies, businesses, congressmen, anybody, anything, always go with your morals and your values, because that is going to hurt you the most out of anything else. You're always going to think about that. You might lose some money. Money is transactional. It could be made, it could be lost. But just that moral virtue of you not doing what you knew was right, that's what usually eats people inside. But we know there's lobbyists in this world. I know it has to do with lobbyists. I'm just saying, everybody has a number. I guarantee you, if some medical company like Pfizer came up to you and say, hey, I know you know that this medication has side effects, I'll give you $100K if you don't say anything. We'll disclose the side effects at a later date, but if you don't say anything now, we'll give you $100K. We should have our number. If somebody came up to you with $1 million, you'd probably close your mouth. I might even close my mouth if someone offers me $1 million if I just don't say anything about this, because with that $1 million, it's a lot of money, especially if you don't got to pay taxes on it and you get a clean $1 million. That's a big number. Lots of times people will give up their morality for $1 million, at least a part of their morality. Keep in mind that I believe the average bribe to a congressperson, or I don't want to say bribe, but average donation to a congressperson is $10,000. And lots of times they take that $10K and they vote on a bill a certain way because they got that $10K. But when it comes to your morals, your values, try to always go with those. Sometimes you can bend them a little bit. Sometimes this value supersedes this one, and this one you're able to maybe not always follow through on when it comes to relationships, all that kind of stuff. But try to always go with your values and your morals.